And a very pleasant good morning to you, my dear friends. It's as Mr. Roger would say, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And guess what? You've just stepped into the hottest spot in town. We're talking about Sunshine's Corner. And you know we always do the right thing, right? This is the place where you can have those difficult conversations and feel comfortable doing that. This is the avenue that you should take when you want to find out what's going on in Pensacola. That's going to take you straight there and keep you abreast so that you will know what, where, when, how to be involved. And today, you know what? There is no difference in that today. We're going to be talking about a topic that's not talked about enough. I really believe that. And you see, when sometimes people think when you are inspiring them, there's only one way to inspire you. Wrong answer. Sometimes when you receive the information that you need, that's the best way to be inspired, when you know there are different ways to do things that can better you. So today we are going to jump and talk to some fine people in regards to sickle cell awareness. And as you know, sickle cell affects the Black community strongly. We are the community that's affected by this horrible disease, and I do not believe that we give it enough attention. I do not believe that we give it the attention that it needs so people can be aware to even know if they carry the trait. But we're going to talk with two young ladies today, who one that lives with it every day, one that has a daughter that has it. And what we're doing today, we're going to make sure that my fine guests that are with me today, Allison, hi, thank you for getting up early.
Good morning.
And thank you. And of course, Kwanzaa. I'm not going to do your whole name. But these young ladies here are working with me so that we can bring awareness to the community about sickle cell. And I know that you have a daughter.
Yes.
That she lives with sickle cell, and you live with it yourself.
Yes.
And we're going to find out the stories today so we can let everybody know what we are working on, so we can get this thing opened up in the community so we can make it better. Yes. So let's start off like this. Kwanzaa.
Yes.
Tell everybody about you, and then we're going to go with my girl Allison. Just give me a little tidbit about Kwanzaa. Tell me a little bit about Shaquansia.
Hello, y'all. I am Shaquansia Love. I am a sickle cell anemia survivor. I've had it 38 plus years. I was diagnosed at the age of 4. And it has just been a journey of telling me what I can't do. And I've literally been busting out every door they told me I couldn't do.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And I mean, when they tell you things that you couldn't do, such as?
That I was never going to complete school. I have a degree in a trade certification.
Look at her. She's dancing on that.
Yes. They told me I wasn't going to be able to have kids. I have 4 kids that I birthed, not adopted or anything in that nature. Wow. And they told me I wasn't going to live so many different ages, 5, 11, 20, 30, and I'm now 38 years old with this disease.
Come on now. She's like she's about 20.
Right.
But you know, that's a beautiful thing. You see, it's always a way when you know what you're dealing with.
Exactly.
And when you can get the information that you can live with.
Yes.
We were talking about in the back that, what's the girl name with TLC?
T-Boz.
Well, everybody like T-Boz, yeah.
Yes.
She lives with it.
Yes, and she's older than me with it. So it's a blessing when you get past a certain point and you still living, still thriving, not sick and down. Truly a blessing. She's still doing good, still performing and everything.
A little bit on TV too, right?
Yes, she just did a concert
documentary,
not too long ago. Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Still touring.
Unbelievable. Now let's go on, Allison. Let's talk about what you do and what we're trying to accomplish with sickle cell.
Definitely.
And the fact that you have a daughter.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so I'm Allison Morris. I'm president and co-founder of We Reign Sickle Cell Corporation. We started to spread awareness about sickle cell disease. As you said, I'm a caregiver. My daughter she's now 9 years old, just turned 9 in June, and she actually has hemoglobin SC. And so I wasn't even aware initially that there were different genotypes of sickle cell.
I'm learning something today.
There's different things going on. And then as far as the trait goes, a lot of people, it's perceived that we know what our status is, but we may not. I did not know I had the trait, a trait, until her newborn screening. And so, and I'm 84 baby, told my age.
I know, right?
84,
girl,
I'm 84 baby, but yeah.
Watch this. I'm an 82 baby. The good thing,
Yes,
good story. But what I'm saying is, though, when you said that there are so many different types of
Sickle
cell.
Yeah, it is.
Really? Now I'm learning something today.
Yeah.
I thought it was just sickle cell. And that's it.
No.
Explain that to me. Tell me more.
Well, there's 4 most common genotypes. There's type this SS, which is the type that Kwanzaa has, which is considered the most severe, the most extreme. You have hemoglobin SC, which means you inherited S trait and a C trait from both parents. So you have to inherit it from both parents, the trait. And then you have beta thalassemia plus and beta thalassemia 0. So there are different types that you can, have, and don't even know it.
Really? You have the first one. She said that the most.
The worst, the most.
It's called SS.
Yes. SS.
Tell me really what is sickle cell? About the cells.
So I like to put it this way. Y'all see this necklace I got on? Okay, my cells are shaped like this. The majority of them are. And what happens is they get clogged.
That's a moon shape.
The moon shape. So the regular round moon shape, like the moon round, that's the normal blood cells. However, I have most of mine are like these. So what happens is they get clogged in the extremities. They get clogged in your organs. They cause organ failure. Currently dealing with knee death and hip dying. It deteriorates your bones, your organs, causes the worst pain. I've been through childbirth, toothaches, all that. Sickle cell pain, you can't even put a measure on it.
It's worse than a childbirth?
Worse than childbirth.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my God. That's, I've never heard the comparison like that. Let me give a shout out to Mr. Walter Wallace. Good morning, Mr. Walter. I can hear him now. Hey, baby. But Mr. Wallace has been, that's who brought me to the fact of learning more about sickle cell, because we sponsored him for years.
Yes.
Wow.
When we were there on the Villa, I believe, downtown, we had the office that was there. But that's what drew me to sickle cell, because I don't have it. I haven't had the test. Right. But I'm saying to everybody, when I'm learning today, and I'm sure that others are learning as much as I, that if you have all these different types, this is really mind-blowing to me, that I didn't know all about that.
Yes.
But so how are we going to come together to educate people? What do we need to do to educate people so we can make sure that they even get tested for the trait? Like you said, for a child to have a certain type, both parents got to have a certain trait?
Yes. So like both of my parents had the S, like she was talking about the C, the different traits. Both of my parents had the S, and that's how I got both. Okay. So I'm trying to process my thoughts. So because I have, like she said, I have the worst case of sickle cell. I have the most, how can I put it? I have a lot of hospitalizations.
What kind of hospitalization?
A whole lot.
Okay.
I've had over 100 blood transfusions.
How many?
To the point now that we are trying to get rid of the extra iron. You know how you guys have iron in your body, and most people have a low iron. Well, because of all the blood transfusions, which I'm going to educate you on that later. I don't know if you know, but if you get too many blood transfusions, it can literally shut your kidneys down.
Oh, really?
Yes. And there is an ethnicity thing also, to where you shouldn't be getting too many blood transfusions, too many different ethnicities, because our body can't process all of that.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Does this affect the white community?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Yes.
I know a bunch of Caucasians with sickle cell, full blown. We all get the same mistreatment in the hospital. It is something.
She said the same mistreatment.
Same I'm a stress mistreatments.
Really?
In the hospital.
As like?
Getting called drug seekers, withholding pain medication.
Really?
Purposely. Medical personnel, yeah.
So
we have so much, I call it medical malpractice going on right now with sickle cell patients are dying because they're suffering in the hospital because of care personnel does not want to do their job or feel like they shouldn't have to do something based on their own theory versus going off the medical record.
The guidelines.
And what does it say? The guidelines, yes.
So have you experienced any withholdings?
Definitely, even in pediatrics, because you would think that someone sees a child and they're crying, they're in pain, that they're immediately going to come to their rescue. But once they see you, especially if you go to the same hospital over and over again, they'll say, "Are you sure you're in that much pain? Are you sure you were 10 out of 10?" They've questioned my child before.
A 9-year-old baby?
Yes. She was 8 at the time. She just turned 9. So yes, ma'am. They will will make it seem like you're, making it more than what it is, and it's just a lot of misinformation, lack of knowledge,
misinformation,
and so we have to spread awareness. We have to get everyone educated on what it is that's actually happening to the body. Because
I don't think it's enough I don't think it's given enough attention that it needs. And I'm going to be honest, I thought because it was affecting the Black community, and that's why it's not getting the attention. Yeah. But you say that there are Caucasians who have it just as well.
Mexicans.
Yes, Hispanics is very high in the Hispanic.
Hispanics, yeah.
So any people of color?
Yes.
Is that what we're saying mostly?
Yeah,
it's in your genes.
It's just a genetic disease. It's genetic. It's passed. That's the only way you can get it. And the test that people can get is at the health department. It's called hemoglobin electrophoresis that you can get to figure out your status as far as the trait.
Hemoglobin what?
Electrophoresis.
That. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google that. I mean,
hemoglobin,
I'm really learning something because I don't know about anybody else, but did you think that it was just sickle cell and you just because of sickle cell?
A lot of people thought it was just literally sickle cell. Like there are no other types. And to me, I'm in a place now, I don't like to say my condition is the worst one because everybody's body is different, your genetics and everything. But science had said it for so long that it is. But every person experiences the same pain, the same deterioration.
So deterioration of the
body, the organs,
the tissue,
the bones.
So does that even somewhat reflect on how lupus? My sister had lupus, okay?
Oh, okay.
And it deteriorated the organs.
Right.
No cure.
Right.
But I mean, it took her through, man. It really did. And I said she was such a fighter. Right. But I'm hearing you say because with her, you could see the change in the body on the outside. And so I can imagine the pain that she was dealing with on the inside.
Right.
I can still see it. I can hear her voice. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with that. Right. So when I'm hearing you say that if you're going to the doctor, they want to give it to you. So if I can, okay, I think I heard him right. But we're going to talk about this when we come back from break. If a child, your baby that's 9 years old, is dealing with pain worse than having a baby,
right?
How is it that baby that somebody won't take a look to see how this child is in pain? We're going to talk about that because I find that so unbelievable that just because it's such a mass pain. We'll be back, and if you want to be a part of this conversation, we're talking today literally about a disease that affects our community in a very high number. That's really it will take your life.
It literally,
it will take your life.
Illness. It's considered
terminal illness. Yeah. We'll be back with more. So stay close right here, Sunshine's Corner on Blab TV.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services is a one-stop shop because you can come get your windshield replaced, and right behind that replacement at the same appointment, we will calibrate the cameras, and when you leave, everything's ready to go. There's no need to go to the dealership, or there's no need to come back for another appointment. We just take care of it at one time. We put the customer first, and we strive to do everything right the first time.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services, your one-stop shop with same-day service.
There are many reasons someone may need in-home care, whether it may be respite care, them recovering from surgery, or having a chronic condition. Having someone dedicated and reliable is imperative. Supplemental Support Care Services was created to provide to those who are in need with quality care that they deserve in the home. Taking it a step further, our main goal is to ensure that Supplemental Support Care Services is where the love and care is top priority.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. I don't know about you, but stepping into Sunshine's Corner today is the best place there to be. I say that because I'm being knowledge myself. I say this often, knowledge is power. And once you get that knowledge, use it. So I see a lot now because, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. And we're going to be doing a lot this year, so we want you to be a part. I want to call out everybody. I mean, red, yellow, black, white, or brown. If you are dealing with sickle cell, please call us today. Yes. I want to talk to you with these ladies because they are educating me, because I did not know the rate in the Caucasian community is as high as you say it is, because you don't hear it that often. And I don't want to say I'm closed-minded, but that was just the fact that I had, because I thought more so, even though it affects the black community even more. Right. And you were talking about something with your child that happened with medication.
Yeah, so my daughter, we've been in the hospital in and out over 30 times. And
how old is she?
She's 9 now. And it started about, I think her first emergency room visit was at 2. And so, they tell you, the doctors tell you, if you have a fever of over 101, if they're, swelling, there's a whole list of things that you would take your child to the emergency room for with sickle cell. And so, you frequent it if those things happen. And my daughter, she, was having issues, and I took her to the emergency room, and then we won't name any names. It's not in Pensacola,
right?
But, and that's what I'm saying about the whole area. It's not just this area. It's nationwide. But the mistreatment, they gave her half of a Percocet in pill form. She's, 5 years old at the time, and no blood work, no fluids, and we're like, follow up with your hematologist. And
really?
So when I, took her, and I took her straight to the other hospital that we normally go to, because I didn't want to have to drive an hour, which is what we have to normally do, drive an hour to get care. And she ended up having pneumonia, and we were in the hospital for days. So it was one of those things where she could have died, because there was not adequate care being supplied.
Do you think that they are lacking in knowledge of sickle cell?
Of course. There is a huge gap in sickle cell care because they may not see it, every day. It's not important to focus on continued education if you only see one every so often. But my thing is if you're an emergency room staff, there should be continuous education. On the guidelines on how to treat all conditions, or at least have a form or some way to make sure that you're doing it properly. Absolutely.
And Kwanzaa, I know that you've been hospitalized. I know once back here you there for a minute.
Oh yeah. I've lost count of how many times I've been in a hospital.
But you in there for a state.
Yeah, I think that was the time I had pneumonia.
Oh.
And in sickle cell, if we have sickle cells in our chest, which is a pneumonia, it's called acute chest syndrome. That's the name of it.
Okay.
And it's almost like feeling like you're having literal sharp pain in your chest on top of having pneumonia. So it ain't just the pneumonia you're dealing with, it's extreme pain in your chest.
So what treatment they do with you when you stay in the hospital that long?
So typically if you have an infection, you get antibiotics. The main course of action is always hydration and pain medication. And pain medication is morphine and Dilaudid, which are IV medications.
Morphine.
Nothing will touch it but IV medication. And it could take anywhere, like you said, I was in the hospital for a long stint at one time. It could take days to sometimes months to recover from one sickle cell crisis.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I think you, if I remember correctly, you were talking about something that was being implanted.
Oh, I have a port, and the port,
okay.
So it's something that's used, cancer patients get it, sickle cell patients, anybody with a chronic illness, to where I've had so many IVs done, my veins are blown from the IVs. So they'll give you the port so that you can get your fluids, get medications, and
so
all that.
Are you telling me that there is something like when you say I keep hearing you say fluids. Is it a dehydration thing that's also that affected with sickle cell?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. There's an intracellular part, there's an intercellular part, so you have to make sure those red blood cells are getting oxygen and are staying hydrated.
Okay, now tell me what you just said again. The what?
Intracellular and inter. So that's in and out. It's not just your bloodstream needs hydration. Your cells need the hydration too. Because if you think about it, and now we're getting into the weeds of it, the hemoglobin that sits on top of the red blood cell, this is what is lacking oxygen in sickle cell patients. And so when the lack of that, that's what causes it to change shape. It clumps up. There's no oxygen, and so wherever it clogs up at, no matter where it is in the body, there's no oxygen. So that's where cell death happens, and so they need to make sure that it gets flushed. And
really,
you can do that with have normal saline when you're having a crisis, because it's not always just your blood cells. It's inside the cell as well itself, the red blood cell.
Oh wow. I'm being educated. You see, my mouth is open. I'm really being educated. And I would think, as long as I've been around this young lady, I mean,
you don't know she's going through it.
I would never know that you have gone through something with the extreme pain that you're telling me about today. Yes, I'm aware that you have sickle cell, but never did I think to this day that the pain was excruciating as you're telling me that it is today. My God, that's something else. So when it comes down to everyday life, are there limitations on things that you can do? Or talk to me, both of you. Come on, Kwanzaa, tell me.
Well, that's the thing. I think as a sickle cell patient, you have to figure out what you can and can't do. I'm one that can swim in a pool and it don't throw me in a crisis, but you got some patients who can't swim in a pool and it'll put them in a crisis. I'm one in my house. For instance, if it's too cold in my house, sometimes when I take a shower, I have to literally cut the heater up to keep my body from hurting. Because if it gets too hot or too cold, I could go into a pain crisis. I'm currently in pain right now, but to y'all, I don't look like it. But there are degrees of this pain. Some days my pain is more acute. I get up and function. And then there's some days where I need to be in the hospital because that pain cannot be controlled. So I also have at-home medication as well as when I go to the hospital.
Did you say if you're in the shower, you got to
cut the heater up?
In the summer?
So that the air doesn't hit me, because like she was talking about the cells and them not having enough oxygen. If mine is depleted, it could be like, for instance, I'm dealing with knee pain right now. My knee is blown up. So it'll be like this until it
So your knee is swollen?
Like, if I could show y'all my knee right now, it's insane how big.
It's so little.
I know. It's insane. But most patients prefer to be down south, because if imagine living in snow with sickle cell in the colder areas with it, and having to go out and go to work and all that.
Yeah,
so environment, weather conditions.
Yeah, the storms coming in.
Storms coming in.
The hurricanes?
Or just a regular thunderstorm.
In a storm,
The pressure.
Explain that to me. You say pressure.
Go ahead.
There's no scientific studies that have proven this, but everyone that I've spoken with and everyone that I've experienced, including my daughter, when there's a storm coming through, typically we're all down, especially with SS and SC, they're down. They're tired, or they're going through pain. Check the hospitals. There's a rise in admissions or visits during storm time, thunderstorms.
Unbelievable. This is amazing. I'm really crying out now to the community. I wish I had somebody. I did not know it affected the Caucasian community, but I hope that if there's someone watching that knows someone, tell them to call. I want to talk to them about the fact that now you have taken the wool off my eyes. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it affects the black community more.
Right, it does. You're correct. It is a predominantly black.
It's a predominantly black.
Yeah.
Yes, but the myth is that it is a black disease, and it's not. It's genetic. Right. With the interracial marriages and all the stuff that has happened over the years. That's where it's risen. Because yes, it did start with the population that's nearest to the equator. It eventually evolved from a defense mechanism your body naturally came up with to defend against malaria. So that's where sickle cell came from.
Come on, Dr. Allison.
But we have to get down to the root of it.
You're a caregiver, so you got to know what you're doing in order to take care of your daughter. Yes. I mean, that's amazing. And I'm finding out things because this is why I've always, Mr. Walter Wallace, I have to say, I've been attached to him for a long time and promoting for September being Sickle Cell Awareness because we did the motorcycle ride and I mean, it was huge. And I want to say to the community, we're bringing it back.
Yes.
We are bringing that back this year.
Yes.
And I want to have the community to come on out. Let's support in this. Please, we need your support because I did not know. I'm thinking about these babies now, not saying that your pain is not great. Yes, it is. But I'm thinking about a child that's dealing with a pain that is severe as having a baby. Now, that's some pain.
Some serious pain.
But we are going to tell you more about what we got coming up. We got a conference. Are we calling it a conference, that thing that we're working on? We're going to have a conference to educate you even more on sickle cell that's coming up as well. We're working on that. But the fact of it is, this is a deadly disease that has so many names that I was not aware of. And do you know, even if you have it, the trait?
Yeah.
How? And a lot of people walk around, have it, don't know it.
True.
You find out like that? I mean, but when it comes to activities, okay, I'm thinking about things that my sister rolled back in my head because she had gotten to a point, there were certain things that she couldn't even do physically.
Right.
Does it affect you? It does that too?
Same thing. When I'm down. Like she said, when we get really fatigued or hurting, I'm down. There's no moving. There's no getting up. There's no... I literally, with this disease, had to learn how to walk again. I lost activity in my right arm. I had to get physical therapy to get the activity back in my arm. This disease is, when I tell you guys, it's horrific. It's horrific. It really is.
When you had to learn how to walk again?
Like I said, sickle cell ate up my hip and is eating up my knee currently. It's literally causing black bone death. To where you got to get hip replacements.
Bone infarctions.
Yeah, bone infarctions. Hip replacements. So I'll be a candidate for that eventually.
How far you got to go to be a candidate if it's already hurting?
Right, because once the bone dies, they need to replace it. So obviously it doesn't cause any other issues. So.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying you're going to have a knee replacement?
Basically soon, knee replacement.
Can you wear high heels sometimes?
Sometimes, but babe, I prefer not to.
Don't aggravate it.
You don't do
look, if don't broke, it ain't broke, don't fix it.
She laughs. Oh, no, I prefer not. I mean, hey.
Yeah, but.
Really? Can eating make a difference?
Yes, healthy diet is number one.
Diet can, but I've known vegans in a community. There was actually a vegan group, and they still had crisis. So
what do you think that affects it? Is it like the fried chicken and the greens?
That's not good. It's not good for any of us. It's not good for any of us. But we know we still consume it, but just in moderation. I know with my daughter, she's very in tune with her diet and her nutrition. And as far as what you were saying about day-to-day activities, I'm nervous every day that she leaves the house because it's hot. You know, kids don't have, they don't know their limitations. They're finding it out. My daughter does ballet, and so I'm just like, I don't try not to be the hover parent.
Right.
I want to be a helicopter, but at the same time, we've come into the situation where we're in the hospital because she went to the pool. She can't do pools.
She's one that can't swim.
Well, she
she can swim, but
she can't tolerate the temperature change. If we do go to a pool, it has to be heated or it has to be really warm outside, no overcast. And then when we get out, she has to go immediately into a warm environment, like a warm bathtub. So there's a lot of preparation. Her friends are like, let's go to the pool, and I'll be like, well, we have to make sure we do other things. Give her some Motrin before we even,
really
start the day.
Sickle cell disease, my dear friends, is a deadly disease that is a constant. I see that's something that you deal with daily with the pain. And it is something that we should really take seriously. How and where can a person go get tested though?
Like you just said, the health department, depending on the area that you're in. I know our health department doesn't necessarily do that in Okaloosa County because I live in Crestview area.
Okay.
But you can ask your physician. That's the best place to request a hemoglobin electrophoresis.
They use these words.
Well, that one is the most accurate one because it'll give you what you any abnormal hemoglobin you may have.
Oh, wow. Let's go to the phones and see who we got today. Good morning. Hello.
You can ask him. Good morning, Sunshine. How you doing?
I'm well.
And I want to say good morning to your guests, and I am enjoying the conversation that you all are having this morning.
Uh-huh.
And I do have a couple of questions that I would like to ask the guests. I want to wonder, because of the fact that they have to go to the hospital quite a bit, do they have any trouble of obtaining like Medicaid or being able to get on disability? And also, are they able to function like at a employment, like long-term employment as well?
Okay.
Excellent questions. Thank you for bringing that up, because you're trying to deal with all these things going on with your body. You're trying to deal, and then as a caregiver, I'm trying to keep up with the doctor's appointments and all this stuff. And you get dropped from Medicaid. My daughter was dropped from Medicaid last year, even though you would think she
got dropped.
Yes, because they determined her eligibility no longer was,
Why?
Not sure. We have children medical services. We have, kid care now. So there's a low cost because of my employment, my income. But yeah, those types of things, there was a lapse. It was a change. And so I'm like, we can't have changes in providers. I need to have medical care, consistently. The same people. So, insurance changes, different providers change. You pretty much have to start over, looking for providers, and it's already not enough, hematologists in the area and things like that. So that has always been an issue, and it will continue to be an issue until we're able to really understand. And that's why I said educate yourself on the insurance, on everything.
Yeah. Social Security benefits is one of those things where I hate to say it, the sicker you are, you'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But I'm just gonna keep it real. The sicker you are, you'll get it. And then the sad part about it is, I remember when I was in my early 20s, well, the difficult transition from childhood to adulthood is something else.
Yeah.
There's a lot of younger in their 20s that lack getting Social Security benefits because they have to start to get them on their own instead of being under a parent. And when this happens is you literally have to go and get a lawyer sometimes just to get your benefits back, like doing an appeal process. Like,
really?
Yes. But if you're not for instance, having a job, doing certain things day to day, if they feel like you can maintain it, they're not gonna give you no benefits.
Right. You can get SSI and be denied the next year because you haven't had so many.
Yep. Right. There you go. She's correct.
But this is a chronic illness where you cannot be.
You can't get rid of it, and then like that.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I can see in your face as I talk to you. I see in your eyes. You'll make some things you'll say, and there's a different look that'll come on your face. Are you regressing? Think about some of the things that you've had to go through.
Triggers,
and that take you to that point. Unbelievable. And I'm amazed. But I tell you, the information that we're sharing today is absolutely, utterly important. We're talking about sickle cell disease that affects our community strongly. And we want you to get this knowledge as well. We got more questions because I have them rolling through my head as we're talking. Stay close, we're coming back because we got more questions to talk with Allison and Kwanzaa about this horrific disease that her child is living with and that you live with and been living with it for a long time. So stay close, and thank you for tuning in to Sunshine's Corner right here on Blab TV. Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel for all of your men wear needs.
This is Wayne at Icon Automotive in Robertsdale, Alabama, and I wanted to tell you more about our powertrain warranty forever. It comes with any vehicle we sell that has 80,000 miles or less at no additional cost to you. We put our vehicles through a tough safety and mechanical inspection before it can have the powertrain warranty forever, giving you a peace of mind with your purchase. This warranty is good anywhere in the country, and it covers 100% of parts and labor with no mileage limit, and is covered as long as you own the vehicle. Come pick out your dealership car at non-dealership pricing with the powertrain warranty forever at Icon Automotive.
Watch a new episode of Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m., hosted by Sergeant Melanie Peterson and David Craig. Your tips may be eligible for a cash reward, featuring items about officer training, various aspects of police work, and crime prevention information. You'll hear about upcoming family-friendly engagement events as well. Don't miss Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m.
Go back to being a kid again. Head on over to Bubba's Sweet Spot. We've got house-made caramels, fudge, pralines, marshmallows, and lots and lots and lots and lots of chocolate. Looking for more traditional candy? We've got you. Our walls are covered head to toe in all the classics, from taffy to gummies and lollipops to gumballs. And don't forget our ice cream. With endless toppings and dipped cones, we've got what you're craving. Let us take you back to a time when every problem could be solved with candy. At Bubba's Sweet Spot.
And I am back, and believe me, I'm getting so much knowledge. I picked up my pad, guys. Because they are educating me. And today we're talking about sickle cell disease, and two people that are here with me, because I think when you want the right information, you go to the source. And with Allison, We Reign nonprofit for sickle cell. And of course, my girl Kwanzaa, who lives with it every single day. As we were talking off camera, you were telling me about how the ways and the different things that you do when you can't get the funding that you need, because if you don't work when your body's hurting, then you can't find a job, and what you need to do about being self-employed.
Right. So I'm truly a believer with anybody who has any chronic illness, just not sickle cell, but anything that doesn't allow you to keep a job, because it's so hard to keep a job. You get sick, you quit, or your job lets you go. Like one of my people who loved where I worked back in the body, y'all remember Body Shop in the mall? Yeah. I used to work there, senior seller, associate, everything. One of her top sellers. It got so much. She said, "Baby, you get sick a lot. You just need to go back to school, or you need to go do something else, because a job is not for you. You're constantly getting sick, gotta sick." So it's a blessing that I found entrepreneurship, and I truly push entrepreneurship, because you work your own hours, you make your own schedule, and then you're still making an income. It's so hard to get sick, apply for benefits, then you're denied, then you gotta get a lawyer. It's just a lot. It's a lot. So if you could push entrepreneurship, if you can do it, I say find out what your talent, whatever is on the inside of you, and push it. Because getting a job, they're gonna get tired of you getting sick. Let's just be honest. They're gonna get tired of you getting sick. You're not gonna be no good for them. So then they're gonna tell you, okay, you need to find something else to go to school, go do something, because we can't keep you at the job if you're constantly in the hospital.
Wow. And your entrepreneurship is?
Licensed esthetician, professional makeup artist.
Yeah, man, you talking about one with a beat her face. I mean, she did, but she found her talent, her niche. And I tell you, I love telling this. The first time she did my face, my sister said, "Oh my God, she had a nose job." No, I didn't. And my other sister said, "That's called facial contouring."
Yeah, contouring.
But no, she's the bomb, and I agree. But to do that, but she found hers. Now let me go back to you, because there was something you said about your nonprofit and all the things that is called We Reign Sickle Cell, right?
Yes.
It's a nonprofit organization.
Correct. 501c3.
Right.
Yes,
tell me about it. What do you do?
Yes, so we spread awareness about sickle cell disease. We partnered with American Red Cross to do diversity blood drives, and so we donate blood, and they also do trait testing with that as well. And then we really want to reach the community, and we really want to provide advocacy support. And we call ourselves healthcare navigators. I went through a training through a company or a nonprofit called Sickle Cell Medical Advocacy. And shout out to Dr. Simone. She's a doctor. She actually has sickle cell and is a doctor.
Is she of color?
Yes.
Wonderful. You said,
born in South America, Dr. Simone Uwan. So she's written many books. She has a nonprofit based out of Orlando. She's known internationally. She's currently in overseas right now in Africa. Spreading awareness there as well. I mean, they're helping us more, and that's the hard part, is that there's people overseas that are having more advancements than we are in the United States, and so we need to make sure we collaborate with our global partners. But we became healthcare navigators to help people in the emergency department, and so we do this nationally, and so they have to sign the HIPAA authorizations and things, but we will be there with you. When you're in the emergency room, we will be there with you and help advocate for you.
Really?
Yes.
I heard you say something about a blood drive. Now, when you are doing a blood drive with sickle cell, is there a certain type, let's say, are there any type things that'll stop you from donating blood that will be beneficial to
sickle cell patients? Can't donate.
Yeah, sickle cell patients cannot.
We can't donate. We can only receive.
Yeah, they can't donate. Yeah.
We can't donate.
Can't donate.
Okay, let me ask you this. If there's a person who does not realize they have it, they donate, what would that do?
Well, there'll be health screenings done, but prior to, and they'll examine the blood. I know a Red Cross does. There's probably a process for all of the donation centers, but hopefully they'll
screen the blood.
They'll screen the blood, and then you'll get notified that what's going on. Because I know with the Red Cross, I can speak for them. They do notify you if you have the trait, because they test for the trait as well.
Is there any counseling for people who are going through it?
They refer you to your physician. A lot of things are being pushed back to the patient. And
your primary care. Mm-hmm. So if a person is dealing with you, does that? I'm sure it affects here too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So
I got bad memory loss, baby.
She's making me laugh. Does it affect your memory? She said I have bad. She is cracking me up today.
She's thinking about something she forgot yesterday. She's like, wait a minute.
It's something she forgot. That's funny.
She just thought about it, yeah.
Now, you all also meant to stop making me laugh.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you know what color makeup is, right? Okay. Listen to this. You said that there's a cure.
There's the FDA approved
$2 million. Mm-hmm.
Plus.
But you're not sure that you're going to be cured. And you got to be tested for the next 15, 20 years to make sure after I spent that $2 million
that it don't come back.
That it won't come back. Come on, somebody. Now tell me, $2 million? How many people, lay people, walking around with $2 million to get some type that it may not work?
Well, here's the thing. I think that this is where legislature comes in, with the laws and things. The estimated cost of care for a sickle cell patient, a typical, not extreme, is $2 million in their lifetime. So if you think about the total cost versus the cost of this treatment, mm-hmm. that was their thought process. The manufacturers who did it, they had to do all these trial studies. They wanted to make sure that they were able to pay for that research that's been done, and still make it so that it's accessible to someone that can get it.
Wow.
We understand that, but it's not accessible for common everyday people. It's not accessible to
absolutely,
for the cost alone. But then you also have to take away a year out of your life, to just do this and hope that it takes
a year.
And you can't be around your family or nothing.
Yeah, you're basically,
you gotta
in the
get
hospital.
chemo first. Mm-hmm. Gotta wipe out your
like cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Gotta get rid of your genetic disposition and take on whoever your donor is.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what the cure is.
Yeah, there's different types of gene therapies.
Gene therapy,
mm-hmm.
basically, yeah.
Okay, I think Stephen asked me a question, but Stephen,
mm-hmm.
I forgot because I guess I had something like Shaquansia.
It's definitely something to discuss with your doctor. But if the first question is if you don't have a year to take off, and that means bills. And I know the caller asked about keeping a job. Yeah, I work from home. That's the only way that I'm even able to keep the job, because like she said, a lot of employers, they can love you to death, but they're like, I need you to be here. And I can't guarantee that I will be able to be here, because I have to be out for my daughter as well. You know, we're affected the same, because she can't be in the hospital by herself.
Of course, she's a baby.
And so we have a lot of issues with keeping jobs and being able to pay, you know, getting regular
everyday
bills.
living.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen at this. When COVID hit back here a few years back, how did that intertwine or anything together with sickle cell?
I had COVID 3 times. It almost killed me the first time.
You had what?
I've had COVID 3 times. I've had all 3
David.
strands. And the first one hit me the worst.
Really?
Had me in hospital in ICU 2 weeks. In the hospital, I was in ICU for 2 weeks. I was in hospital for 28 days.
Really? So you had to go through
COVID caused the crisis. So I initially had the COVID, and then it inflicted. I ended up with pneumonia. I've had pneumonia over 50 times, and I'm not exaggerating, y'all. I'm surprised my lungs are still intact. It's God's grace. I still got good lungs.
You have had pneumonia over 50 times?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my Jesus. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you, with COVID, the first time you had to stay in ICU.
Yeah, for 2 weeks, my folks thought they were going to lose me.
Was it hard to breathe? Or
yes, it was hard to breathe, because it's already hard to breathe with a sickle cell crisis. So then imagine having COVID on top of that and pneumonia. All 3. I was almost ended up on a ventilator. My folks wouldn't let them do it. They wouldn't approve it. My husband would not approve the ventilator, even though I needed it. So we came up with other alternatives, and I'm here before y'all, but I was needing a ventilator.
That bad?
That bad.
My God, but God.
But God.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's just so many things that I'm hearing today, so that's why I want to really encourage the community. You stay in touch right here with Sunshine's Corner on Blab TV, because we're going to be talking more about how you can be a part of, how you can help make a difference. I strongly believe when we put our resources together, there is nothing that we can't do. And I'm going to ask of you, I'm going to plead with you from my great big old heart, that these things that we're planning about 6-8 weeks down the road that's coming up, and with the walk that we're going to be doing to bring awareness, we want you to be a part of this, because lives that are being affected with this, they need that help. And we want to be a part that we can say that we gave from the heart to make a difference. We're going to talk more about, wow, the many aspects of living with sickle cell right here, Sunshine's Corner on Blab TV.
I just remembered it's election day. Are you going to vote?
I don't know. I don't think I'll have time today.
Millions of eligible voters in America never make it to the polls or even register to vote. When you don't vote, you're letting other people make decisions for you and pick the things your taxes will pay for. Voting is more than a civic duty. It gives you a voice about the priorities and the future of your community and our nation. Voting gives you a seat at the table.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quince Dieter, and I am Blab TV.
Hey fellas, my name is Daniel Denny, owner of the Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering from ED and the bedroom has become your worst nightmare, where you no longer have the self-confidence you used to have, it doesn't have to be that way. We can help. You're not alone. We have over a 90+% success ratio with our patients. I'm so confident you'll be pleased with the results that if we can help you, there's no charge for the office visit. I'll personally cover it.
Hello, my name is Eric, and this was my first visit to Little John's. The selection, the pricing here, and the customer service were outstanding. I would definitely recommend. The staff was very friendly, and they'll get you what you need.
Hi, this is John with Little John's Big and Tall here in Pensacola, Florida at 5700 North Davis Highway. Check us out at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. where we can take care of you with extra large up to 14X and large tall to 6X tall.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. We're talking about Sunshine's Corner. When I say hot, I mean we're talking about topics that we don't hear about often, that we need to be filled with nothing but knowledge about. Because I have known Kwanzaa for a long time. Never did I know it was as deep as it is. I've known she's been in the hospital. But I'm thinking, okay, she'll be okay. But you were telling me that with your children, when you have a crisis, they're afraid.
Yeah.
How does, I mean, and you said there are times you have prayed to God for what?
To take me out of here, because the pain is unbearable. And sometimes having a pain crisis, you can literally hear my joints popping. I don't believe in the whole, you know how people pop their fingers and all that.
I do that.
I can't do that, because when I'm in crisis, my joints are literally popping really loud every time I move. We do not like to be touched when we're having a crisis. Do not touch me. Don't hug me. Don't caress me. Let me be. Don't call me. Let me get through it, and when I'm better, we'll talk. Everybody already know, when I first go in the hospital, the first 4 days don't bother me.
Really?
Let me be. Let me process this pain on my own.
How do your girls deal with that?
They're scared. My oldest, I have a 15-year-old. It's crazy to even say that. I have a 15-year-old, and she understands.
You got that right. How old are you? 16? Okay. Okay.
I have a 15-year-old, and she's understanding more and more. Obviously, my kids do not want me to go in the hospital. They're scared I'm not going to come home. They're literally scared I'm going to leave them. My youngest, my 8-year-old, always beg, Mommy, please come back home. And they will FaceTime or call me and FaceTime just to see my face to make sure I'm going to make it back home.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
You were talking about the fact that your daughter, you did in therapy?
Yes. Yes.
Tell me about that.
About a year and a half ago, we had a really, really dramatic, emotional experience at the emergency room, where she was released prematurely, and we literally sat in the parking lot, and I cried. I was praying. She was still in pain, and she was afraid to go home because we live an hour away from the emergency room. And so she was like, Mommy, I don't want to have to come back. Like we need to stay here. So she wanted to stay in the hospital at this point. And so I just prayed about it, and I said, you know what? I said, this is too much, because it's too much for me. Emotionally, you're crying for help, and there's nobody to really, there's no call, no answer to your call. But the answer was, we got ourselves back together. We prayed about it. We talked with our village, because it's very important to have a village. I challenged the church community and our pastors and spiritual leaders that, just call and check on, ones dealing with sickle cell, because even a call or a prayer, just let them know, hey, send me some groceries over, or do something. Really? Do something, just to let them know that you're not forgotten, because we may not be able to come to church every Sunday. We may not be able to come out to the events. We may not be able to plan things as you want us to. So dealing with all those things, and like I said, with my child, I put her in therapy. She's talking about her things. She gets mad at me. Sometimes she's like, I don't want to go to therapy today. I don't know why I'm doing it. I said, because I'm trying to give you the tools that you need to be able to handle it later on. Because like she was saying, when you're transitioning, it's going to not get better. It's going to be worse, just because you're dealing with it yourself and not having Mommy here to speak for you. I'm gonna be here as long as I can, but I can't promise that I'm gonna be here every time that you are having a crisis. You need to be able to speak up for yourself and tell them what hurts, and tell them what not to do, because they'll over medicate you too. I feel like when you go to the hospital, you don't know if you're gonna come back out, like she said.
When you say over medicate, give me an example. Like,
well, I mean, like I said, my daughter's 9 now. They will give her
too much IV medication.
Yeah, too much IV medication. They'll give her morphine every 3 hours as long as she's asking for it. Of course, she's gonna be asking for it because she's in pain. But at some point they're like, well, if you're in pain, just give it to her. I'm like, for how long though? So you're going on days of around the clock morphine, and you're like, at some point you're like, okay, look, we're gonna have to find another way. We're gonna have to do something.
Is it
else.
Addictive?
Yes, it's addictive. Pain medication is very addictive.
There's an opioid crisis.
It's opioid crisis. Y'all, I'm sure everybody heard about fentanyl, and When I have surgery, that's what they treat me with, fentanyl.
Yeah, fentanyl. Yeah, that is the guideline. It tells you to do fentanyl nasal spray for pediatrics.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they come in with a pain crisis, they try to give you fentanyl off the top. I decline it, but that's one of the things that they give you automatically.
Fentanyl? Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
That's the level of pain. It's the same. Yeah. It's the same severity of a heart attack.
It's bad.
Oh my Jesus.
And sickle cell can cause a heart attack and strokes. You can have a stroke when you're a baby with sickle cell.
So all of this stuff mentally, it takes its toll because you're constantly like, okay, I know that this isn't it, but it could be, you know, the last time you go to the hospital this time. You don't know.
You don't know if you're gonna come out.
My God, this is so important. Important is not the word. I mean, this is utterly, I mean, it's like you can't put this on the back burner. This has got to be top of mind because of the severity. And I just think about how it affects the children. And if I know as a grown woman telling me here how it is that the pain is so severe that I'd say when I go to the hospital, maybe I don't want to come back, God. I mean, Jesus, just take me because this pain, just take me home. But no, I want to say to you, the two of you, thank you for getting up because we're going to talk more because we're going to get that awareness back up right here in Pensacola because I know it's not as strong as it was. Because the moment I called you, you said, oh no, well, wow, anything I can do. But we are going to do that. And I thank you for getting up to come to talk about this deadly disease. You've educated me a lot today because the only thing that was in my head was sickle cell. Just sickle cell. I mean, you know, that was it. I didn't know about all these different variants of this disease. I didn't know about all the pain that you go through. But my God, how can I say this other than reach out to either one of these young ladies. If you don't have their numbers, call me and I'll get it to you so that we can make sure that the information is what we need to do to move forward. Thank you again. Believe it or not, I can't believe our time is up. When you're talking about good stuff, the time seems to
we'll talk about
fly.
it for days.
We can talk about this for days. But my dear friends, for all that are sitting and you are just as engulfed as I am in regards to sickle cell, I want to encourage you to be a part of all the things that we're going to be doing so that we can make a difference right here. And we're not just talking about the Black community, we're talking about across the board, whomever is affected by this horrible disease. I want to leave it as I do every day. Never lose your focus. Always remember to keep God first in whatever you do. I'll guarantee you then you're going to be a total success. So until tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for another day of sunshine right here on Blab TV. Keep shining while I'm gone. And tell everybody to tell somebody when you want to know what's happening. Tune in to Sunshine's Corner on Blab TV. Until tomorrow, bye for now.